Hey, and welcome back to a new video, and today we're going to do a Benjamin X Reader Part 3. This time it's another one. It's a Flit Waters Benjamin X Reader. Your name is your name. It could be that there are swear words in it, just warning. So beware. And we'll see if I can try Ben's voice. So, let's begin. Was it a Tuesday? Maybe a Wednesday. Who cares to know anymore? Things were too different now to dwell on when it started, when sanity was practically thrown out of the window to follow a voice of all things. When did you stop caring about those around you? Your name? You horrible girl. Ruined the lives of those you care about most. Yet, he said he'd come. He said he would come soon. What was his name again? Ah, there we go. His name was... Your name? Are you listening to me? Your mother said, ripping you out of your thoughts. Her concerned gaze watching you from across the dinner table. Her fork passed over her half-eaten bowl of pasta hesitantly, as if pulled out of a trance. You nodded your head slowly and shoveled a too large bite of noodles into your mouth. Of course, why wouldn't I be? You said. Thought it was barely audible through the pasta in your mouth. Your mother smiled her shocky smile and shook her head. I was just checking. It's been long since you had seen her real smile. About 2 years, if you remembered correctly. You honestly never expected to see it again, no matter how sad it made you to admit it. After meeting with the boy from the water, your everyday life had changed entirely. You had walked home that night and practically destroyed your house in a fit of a rage. It wasn't you thought, but there was no other way to explain what had occurred that there still isn't. You put on a happy mask and pretend as if it was. If Typhoon, sorry, was ragging your head every second of every day. The most haunting thing about the affair was the 2 red dots of eyes that still burned bright in your memory. One of the only things left after extensive correctional therapy. Your mother was watching you, her expression of concern never changing. You slammed your fork on your plate, causing you both to jump. You know, I think I'm going to go for a walk, you said, wiping your mouth on a napkin and standing up. I'll be back before it gets too dark. Your mother nodded wearily. Be safe and stay away from that forest. With a half-hearted smile, you ran out of the dining room and through the open door into a cool evening air of your front porch. What's wrong with me? You sighed, rubbing your hands vigorously, over your bare arms. It hasn't been the best idea to run out of your house without a jacket. The time of the year. You turn to go back inside, planning to grab a jacket when you hear a familiar voice behind you. Nothing, sweetheart. You're perfectly normal. You froze with one hand extended to the door. You felt your heart rate quicken, and you dared not to look behind you. Don't you remember me? Your name? You helped me escape after all, he said, chuckling in amusement. You swallowed down your fear and risked a glance over your shaking shoulders. There's a certain culprit behind your rolling insanity. The one boy who wouldn't leave your thoughts for so long. He wore the same tunic as he had before, the green faded front from water damage. It was also appeared that he was still dripping wet as if he had just rose from the murky water yet again. What are you asked me, meaning to ask what he was doing here, but couldn't bring yourself to finish question past your chattering teeth. The boy grinned, semi-sharp teeth gleaming in the low light. "I'm a horror story, nothing less and nothing more," he said, voice smooth as an undisturbed water. With a quick movement, you went to rip the door open, only to find a pale hand pressed against the wooden panels, preventing your escape. "It isn't polite to run from a guest." The elfish boy hissed, his breath tickling your ear. Ben. His name was Ben. He suddenly remembered that little fact after many months of a corrupted therapy. "Ben?" You breathed out, giving a voice to your thoughts. "So you do remember." The boy sat grinning widely. He stiffened as his hand dropped from the door. You were tempted to open the soft, skin-color skin of your mom. "You don't know how long I've been waiting to come back. The other are just... don't understand what it's like to have someone free them. And the longing gratitude you feel after the fact. You couldn't bring yourself to move away, much your logical depend. Why didn't you come?" you asked. It wasn't much too late to run now or claim you didn't want to see him. You were as enthralled with him as you were terrified, and there was no use denying it. A small, barely audible sound escaped the lips of the killer behind you, the one hand still remaining on your arm, tracing the small circles over your skin. The small circle. "That's, my dear, is complicated. The other killers didn't let me go. I'd been away from them so long they were reluctant to let me leave their sight for much more than a simple killing." The breath hitched in your throat as you turned to face him back against the door. "I'm very glad to see you again." The words tumbled out of... Wait a minute. "I'm very glad to see you again." The words tumbled out of your mouth, barely registering in your mind before you said them. To miss even a potential of being in love with a killer was beyond insane, especially after the pain and suffering that he put you through deep inside. Thoughts deep inside. You found a part of yourself, relieved that he had finally returned, had finally followed through with his promise. What a strange thing to say," Ben said, amusement dancing across his face. He didn't know what to say, choosing instead to study his elfish feature in the silence. When I'm struggling with words, sorry. He noticed the way his eyes glowed in the growing darkness, adding a faint light to his pale, watery skin. His dirty blonde hair clung to his face in soaked clumps, and trails of water leaked down his slim face. You were so confused and studying his features, you didn't notice when his face drew closer to yours. "Ben," you said, saying his name and praying this was a real or not a crude trick of the mind. Those happen all too often. Ben smirked, your nose nearly touching. "Did you really miss me, your name?" With a sharp intake of breath, you nodded slightly, not daring to move more than a few centimeters in any directions. A sly grin splayed across Ben's face as he silently closed the distance between your lips and his. You hadn't expected your first kiss to be so terrifying, yet necessary. The 2 years he had been waited for Ben, and all the time he spent longing for him, oblivious to your emotions, were suddenly released to wrap your arms around Ben's neck while he embraced you by the waist, sharing the passionate kiss of a wait too long. From inside the house, you heard your mother cleaning up the plates from dinner. Name! Time to come inside! She called it, amusing but close enough to the house to hear it. Resolutely, you pushed Ben away from your back firmly pressed against the door. You won't leave me again, right? Not for long. He asked with a panted breath, cursing your desperation. Sorry. You heard it in your tone. Ben smiled, rather sweet smile for a killer before donning his now signature smirk. I'm not going very far. I never really have been all too far, he said, letting his hand slide gently down your cheek. You grabbed his hand slightly before letting out a sigh. Good. I'm not going to go insane again because of you, he said, folding your arms ignorantly. Ben chuckled. I'll be back before you even think about it, sweetheart, he said with a slightly teasing tone of voice. You opened the door behind you and stepped through the waving slightly. I'm in, Mom, you called, glancing over your shoulder to smile at her. When you turned back, there was no one on your porch. Instead, there was a small puddle of water with a pondy lily in the center. You smiled to yourself before closing the door, leaving as much gooder mood than you have been in months. So guys, that was the end of the video and also the end of the text or the reader. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give a like and comment down below if you want a part 4 or I don't know. Maybe if you liked it or you want me to do somebody else, just comment down below what you want. And I could try to make it. Please subscribe so you'll never miss a video of the Ben Drowned X Reader or any other creepypasta X readers. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So goodbye, my cupcakes.